Minimalism, a aesthetic, a lifestyle, a art movement. How much has the minimalist aesthetic made its way into the lifestyle, and how much does this impact how people perceive what it's like to be a minimalist? Is this a good thing? Is a clean room with little belongings or a wardrobe with only 3 colours more appealing to viewers and therefore causes more people to jump on board the lifestyle trend? There are many different definitions of what it means to be a minimalist, but they all point to a similar conclusion: getting rid of anything in your life that isn't important or brings you joy and focusing on what is important. The lifestyle contrasts a more materialistic approach to life, where buying things are perceived as an important part of happiness, with the mindset of the more you own, the happier you could be. Minimalism contradicts this in suggesting that the less you own, the happier you could be. There are many articles, documentaries, and videos on what minimalism is and the benefits, so I'm not going to discuss them in this video, but rather focus on the appeal of the movement and whether or not how it's being represented in the media is causing more people to adopt the lifestyle, adopt it with a different mentality, or be put off from it. In my opinion, the aesthetic has helped in more people hearing about minimalism, as they might be initially attracted to the visual aspect, but it's only helpful if the blog post or video then goes into detail or explains the mindset behind minimalism, and doesn't just convey the aesthetic to be a goal that should be obtained. For some, they might have a colourful wardrobe and still be a minimalist, as they only own what they like or need and actually do use those clothes. Some might own more furniture because they don't travel as much and they live in a bigger home. Some might not get rid of things right away because they might use it down the track, as this would be more budget friendly and sustainable than buying a new item. The downsides of minimalism being represented only one way is that it's less likely to engage people who live different lifestyles or have different preferences, and if all they know of minimalism is to be plain t-shirts and no belongings, like owning no physical books, then they might think, oh, I could never be a minimalist, and thus never think about their relationship with what they own, buy, or consume. It might appear too hard or extreme and thus not achievable. So on one hand, the minimalist aesthetic can get people interested in minimalism, but it can also take up too much space as to where different ways of being minimalistic are not as publicly expressed. There could also be crossovers between lifestyle choices, like someone interested in sustainability and minimalism would probably own more things, as they might be interested in giving the items they own a second life. A minimalist who creates art might have a messy studio space, but does consider themselves minimalistic because of all the other areas of their life they have decluttered, which has allowed them to focus their attention on what truly matters to them. To some degree, the minimalist aesthetic can detract from the overall message, but it can also be appealing to certain people who are intrigued by that. Hence the popularity of certain videos, the style of the thumbnails, outfits, room design, and so forth. Developing a fixation on meeting a particular image can in itself do the exact opposite of what minimalism is intended to do. Rather than reduce the stress in someone's life, it could actually increase the stress. As any time more items are brought into someone's life, they might get stressed out because it doesn't meet up to a particular image in their heads. Furthermore, decluttering in itself can kind of become a bit addictive, where once a lot of items have been decluttered, we get on an emotional high. Becoming too obsessed with minimalism in itself could also cause us to neglect things that we do find important or that we do find joy in. For example, maybe we have books that we regularly like to look back to and read, or we have old pieces of work that we like to look back to, not because we necessarily have an attachment to them, but rather that we look to them because it does bring us a sense of joy. Or in looking back to them, it can be just that little reminder that we need of where we were in the past and how much we have grown. So to sum this up in one sentence, minimalism. It's more than an aesthetic, it's more than owning less. It's a mindset and a way of choosing to live.